Right, okay, I'll start with the gun, I'll take it apart. The Blaser is a most unusual but extremely clever firearm. It's been designed by very clever people who have removed some of the idiosyncrasies and faults that are found in most modern bolt-action rifles. And this is very important to know. Okay, in here you have an aluminium bedding system. We have a lower receiver. We have no upper receiver. This gun here is designed, the bolt locks into the barrel, the scope mounts on the barrel. The heart of the gun is right here. Take any other bolt rifle, you've got a receiver in the middle here, which is screwed to the barrel. Yep. There's one weak link. As soon as you thread, you've got a weak link. Okay, they've removed that weak link, so you have no receivers. A receiverless gun. Okay, and the heart of the gun that gives it the accuracy is the barrel. So we do everything on the barrel, and to make the barrel independent of the stock, to make it completely free floating, they have this alloy extension which has 8 little pads sitting on here, which the barrel is pulled down onto with 2 screws. The recoil lug is actually inverted and is under the energy source, which is the chamber. Okay, energy source is here. Okay, and the reason for that is you take most bolt action rifles, the actual recoil lug is either a plate on the front of the receivers, as in some brands, or it's welded or bolted or machined in under the receiver. Yep. Back here, energy source is here, recoil lug is here. Okay. What Blaser have done with that is to try and stop the recoil. The further back you put your recoil lug, which transfers the energy into the stock, you get this. Further forward you bring it, you get this. So when you're actually shooting offhand, you're much more likely to see your bullet strike, or where it strikes, than you are with the older style receivered gun. All right? Okay. So we have that clamped in, fully floating, nothing touches, quite independent. And the next thing is the feed system. They use a polymer magazine, makes no noise and does not interfere with the brass. It's nice and easy on the brass as its cartridge as it's being fed into the chamber. The Blaser has no feed ramps. In other words, most guns, when you feed around out of the magazine, there's a feed ramp. Projectile comes out, hits the feed ramp, kicks up, guided up into the chamber. You push it forward, projectile then hits the roof of the chamber, and then the cartridge is kicked up at the back end and the bolt is then closed. Now you've just whacked your projectile twice, trying to damage or kink it in actually loading the gun. To expect it to shoot precision after all that is a little bit wishful. Okay, so Blaser have no feed ramp, but they have a spring-loaded magazine. The magazine lifts up, cartridge comes up, goes straight in the chamber, touches nothing, and is absolutely unmarked, untouched, any damage at all. Also, the front of the receiver here has a rubber buffer, so any cartridges sitting in the magazine, projectile tips, under recoil are not damaged. The bigger the cartridges, we have heavy ones, the recoil can cause cartridges in the magazine to move forward. Soft point ammunition can be damaged, so you cannot expect it to be quite as precise in its accuracy if it is damaged. Okay? The next thing, once you've got the cartridge in the chamber, this is another thing. With the Blaser, why it makes them so smart is that this is a rotary lockup, and you'll notice it's tapered. This tapered lockup here does something very special when you have the cartridge in the chamber. If you take another brand of rifle, and the brand of rifle has a bolt that's got a little bit of slop in it, okay? You load a round into the chamber, the extractor holds that round to one side of the chamber. Okay, so that means that cartridge is not aligned with the bore. And you can't expect that round to fire, be precise, shoot precisely straight. What happens with this design is that the cartridge goes into the chamber, you pull the trigger, firing pin ignites the primer backs out of the case to take up what's called the headspace, which is the little amount of room there is in between, in the chamber and the bolt face, okay? Takes up the headspace, right? And in doing that, it forces this bolt back into its tapered lock, so it centralizes everything. So everything is centralized. And then the main charge builds up pressure, the case comes back over the primer, and whoommo, your shell is out the way, your cartridge is on its way. So this system here develops a more consistent shot-to-shot, because it eliminates so many little faults and problems that the gun has, and that you see in a normal bolt gun. Now we move on to this decocker system here. In this state, the gun is locked up. Okay, won't fire, can't open, and the firing pin spring has been released. The tension on it has been released, and the firing pin is dropped into a blind well. It cannot fire. Impossible to fire with a cartridge in the chamber, okay? So when you're hunting, you see your animal, you just push that forward, take your shot, or not, and release it. Back totally safe again. Okay? So that is the cleverest, most secure safety system of them all. And it's so easy to use. I mean, you just push it forward, take your shot, or not. Okay, so that's some of the basics of the Blaser system. The Blaser metalwork, the steel work on all Blasers, is nitrided. And it's nitrided to give it a hard surface, and the hard surface is required so that there's no wear. So for instance, you take the quick detachable scope mount on and off, you can take it on and off 1,000 times, because the steel is glass hard, it doesn't wear. And you can take it on and off 1,000 times and put it back on and it'll shoot exactly the same place. And that's some of the little features that make the Blaser system extra special for the discerning shooter.
It's got worth it, isn't it? Swing it a bit more?
It's a little bit more, yeah. This is just a standard working type gun, polymer 12 stock, just about unbreakable. Wooden ones, walnut, some beautiful walnut is available, and the Blaser offer a configurator service, and the configurator must be one of these new computer terms. You can actually go into their website and build the gun yourself, because all Blaser parts from this model interchange with all the other Blasers of this model. Yep. Everything is universal, all parts fit. When you think about that, to have a tolerance level that enables all of them to be interchanged between each other, it means the tolerances of manufacturers are so fine, and no other manufacturers achieve that. Okay.
So the level of quality is quite high, isn't it?
Oh, extremely high,
yep.
Yeah, extremely high.
So every rifle's inspected and tested?
Every rifle, not only every rifle, and every part that is part of the actual mechanism, even the bolt head here, which I'll just take out and show you. Even the bolt head has to be proofed, and there's a proof mark there. That's the German proof mark. So the bolt, the barrels, the chambers, everything is proofed by the German government independent proof house to ensure that what you get is within the very fine tolerances that are set in the industry.
Yep. So is the trigger adjustable, or is it factory
it's factory set.
Yep.
And 90% of people would say it would be the best trigger pull they've had on any rifle ever. Now,
Yep.
the new models have an adjustable, self-adjustable system. They have two modes. They have a target mode and a hunting mode, so you can go from one to the other.
Oh, okay.
But the thing we found with the guns that we've been showing people, they go, wow, that target mode, wow, that's light, almost too light. But
Yep.
when you're working on off a bench or a rest and you're looking for some precision, then you appreciate it. But it's not, it's at a weight that you wouldn't want to be using in a hunting situation because
Yep.
it's too light. But the hunting triggers on these are absolutely fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
So the average weight of every Blaser is
Just over 3 kilos.
just over 3 kilos?
Yeah, just over 3.
Cool. So another thing we found, attaching bipods, are they available
Yeah.
for Blaser setup?
Blaser have the stock's already. I'll just take this off and I'll show you. It's already drilled. The Europeans themselves are not bipod fanatics because they tend to shoot more out of little huts on stands, and they don't require it. The bipod's probably more of an American thing, but they do allow for it. It's already here. But the trick is, with all bipods, there's your recess there. You just drill that out, and the bipod goes in. The front sling swivel goes in there. You can either remove that one and put it in there. The hole's already drilled.
Right.
See, hole's already drilled. But the trick is, with bipods, and a lot of people don't realise, when you put a bipod on, you've got to have more clearance at the fore end. Because when you're working a bipod, it's quite easy to put a surprising amount of pressure when you're trying to line up on a target. Surprising amount of force down or up. What happens is it moves the barrel and the stock to touch. And people go, oh, my gun's not shooting very straight. And they're just finding it. Here, because the Europeans, quite a lot of them do driven hunts, and it's a bit like over here pheasant hunt where you go with a whole bunch of people, and you frequently join a group, and some of the people you don't know, you've never met before, and it's considered polite to show that the gun you're carrying is totally safe. So they're not into there's an etiquette, safety etiquette, and this is the new R8, which has got the drop-out magazine, but not only does it drop the magazine, it drops the whole trigger mechanism as well. And in doing that, it puts the whole bolt assembly into safe mode. Even with a round up the chamber, there's no way it can be fired. So it is 100% safe like that. Now, this is the one with the adjustable trigger, which goes from a hunting mode to a target mode. Now, if I show you this, and the assistant cameraman here tries it. Now that's in a hunting mode, and you have to pop it first, okay? Just push it forward. Okay, now you're ready. That's a hunting trigger, all right? So let it go when you're ready. Okay, how'd you find that? Yeah, push it again. Yeah. Well, sorry, pull the bolt back. Sorry, pull the bolt back. Straight back, straight. That's it. Back forward again, rack it forward. That's it. Now try it again just to get the feel of it. Okay. Right, what we're going to do, drop the magazine out. Okay, we're now going to change it. Now we're target mode. Okay, yeah, now same thing, just rack it, I'll push it pocket now. Now just be prepared for this.
Fuck, that's way light.
Is he allowed to say F on?
No, I'll beep it out.
That's light. Yeah, I can see why that would be too light.
Yeah, not from a hunting perspective, but
So is there a figure on that poundage?
oh, it's not pounds.
It's not pounds?
Oh no, a lot less than pounds.
Ounces?
Yeah,
Yep.
and only a few.
Yep.
2?
2 ounce?
Try that. It's all ready to go.
No, look. Okay. Yeah.
Now change it back.
Keep going, pull her out, keep going. And you just see a set of antlers, just push it over the antlers. Okay.
It's an interesting trigger system, isn't it?
It is. Very, very clever. And when you actually see it, and you take it apart, you look at it and you think, how does it work? It makes no sense. But it works very, very well.
Really nice density in the polymer.
It is, yeah. It is. Yeah. Polymer 12, as I understand, which is rated as unbreakable. We have had one person here who's run his gun over with four-wheel drive,
Yep.
but it didn't break the stock.
Yeah.
I think it might have done other things, but it didn't withstood it. Why
So is it
why
possible
to run it over, I'll never know, but it did.
So is it possible to have a start at the bottom as well?
Yep, exactly, yep. It's all,
So just once you've done it,
it's all drilled and ready to go.
So once you've actually done it, of course it's going to be visible from there, isn't it?
Yeah. So you can remove that one or leave it there. As I say, we normally remove those for those. The Kiwi hunter who prefers it here, we just take those, cut them off, and then just put another one in, smack bang here. The R8 is the newer version of the old 93, and it's basically mechanically the same, uses all the same principles. It's just that it's a little bit bigger, a little bit beefier to take the bigger cartridges for those guys that like to hunt, big game in Africa. So it goes up to some fairly big cartridges. Keep going.
So there's no screws as such?
No, they're captive, what's called a captive screw. Yep. They actually are captive. See, there's your hole there, all ready to go.
Yep.
Okay. So you just drill it out. But you can see you've got quite a bit of, a lot of reinforce in here too. So you don't have to try and stop any flex in the fore end of the stock.
It's probably more the density in the polymer which is more attractive.
Yeah.
So I've gone back to wood myself. To the wooden stock.
Yeah. We do have quite a few clients that like nice walnut. So what they've done, they've gone and said, right, I'm going to buy, and they select their own walnut over the internet, which is nice. And but they also buy one at the stock, so that if they are going to go tar hunting or something like that, they can leave their nice bit of walnut at home and just take this. This becomes, they only need the base assembly, just that bit there, and away you go.
So what would you say is the most valuable piece, or most expensive, or more where the costs
probably
involved?
The barrel. The most expensive part of the gun is actually the barrel, because it is at the heart of the Blaser. I mean, everything is built around it, as you can see. Everything, it locks into it. It's all around the barrel. And the barrels, as any of the gunsmiths who've worked on them will tell you, they run so true in the lathe. It's just brilliant. It's just a beautiful, beautiful product. The company themselves are very fastidious about the quality of the barrels, and they have a requirement that each barrel performs. And of course, each barrel goes to proof, goes to the proof house. So before it goes to proof, it's tested, and it's tested on a machine. It's not fired by a human, it's fired by a machine. to ensure that it shoots the required tolerance groups. And then it goes to proof, and the proof marks will be right there. That's the little antler there. That's the proof mark of the German proof house. It indicates that it's to tolerance. The interesting thing is Americans don't have that. You know, Americans can sell a gun that's beyond tolerance.
Yeah. We find that with accuracy too, can't we?
Yeah, it's variable, whereas these are so controlled by DEVA, the German Proof Authority, from a tolerance point of view, that it eliminates so many of those little variables you get from so many other makes. Other than that, that's about it.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks for that.
Not a problem. Not a problem.